Hey friends, Tux here. You know, in Florida, in the Florida Keys where I live, there is a lot of rats, okay? There really is. And this is an ongoing battle. No matter if you have a super nice house or a little chamois, you're gonna have to battle the rats sooner or later. And if you wanna wage all-out war with the rats, I have war in a box here. Now, before I go any further, I want to mention I have a link for this right below, and you can get your set at the very best price, okay? This particular product here is by Qualirey. That's Qualirey. And this is a set. And actually, the way I learned about this is quite funny. It was actually at a guy who is exterminating for rats, okay? And I was just like, hey, what do you do for rats? And, you know, we don't have a lot of rats here at my house, but they do come from time to time, and it is a battle you have to wage, whether you like it or not, okay? And he turned me on to this. Actually, this was in his truck. He had a bunch of sets of this. And this is a pack of 48 super heavy-duty, non-toxic glue traps, okay? This is strong enough to hold those rats no matter how big they get, because you know rats don't quit growing. Rats will just keep growing and growing and growing and growing, and this is a trap which will actually hold on to them. A lot of weaker glue traps, they might get, you know, stuck for a second and then they'll flip free, you know, but these will actually hold those little buggers. And it's not just good for rats. Actually, this can be used for all sorts of pests, from, you know, lizards to cockroaches to all sorts of things that you don't want crawling around your house. And 48 is a really good number. I mean, you can wage a pretty big war about this. Now, before I open this box here, I want to give a few more rat facts, because people may not know this, you know, but basically rats are very, very smart, okay? And people might think, oh, it's just a stupid rat. No, rats are actually really intelligent. And a few other things about rats. Rats can actually move their eyes going a little bit each direction, so they can really see a full, and I want to say it's a full 360 degree of view. So as far as being able to see you before that you see them, they're very adept at that. In fact, rats have been following humans around the globe as we populate new continents since the beginning of time. Rats have always been here, and they really are adaptable, no matter if we're, you know, humans are going to the Arctic or to, you know, a jungle or, you know, wherever, desert. They can really adapt quite easily despite the actual environment, which is really interesting. Their teeth are sharp like metal, okay? In fact, much like some other rodents like hamsters, they have to keep gnawing, or they'll eventually, their teeth will be too big and they'll get like lockjaw and die. So it's vital to them to keep chewing, and that can be very destructive to your house, okay? All right, let's keep going here. I have a few more rat facts later in the video, including ones about them breeding that you don't want to miss, okay? All right, so this is how it comes from Amazon in an OEM box, and this is not some little glue trap box with, like, you know, 6 traps or whatever. This is enough to take care of your problem. Now, I have pulled a few traps out of this box as I'm basically testing my own little war, because I thought I heard a rat the other day. And that's what sparked my mind that, man, I should make this video and tell people about this, because I have informed you guys about other things for other pests, you know, and this is my secret weapon against the rats, okay? So when you order it, this is how it comes. And it comes with not just like a couple, it comes with a lot. 48 glue traps, okay? And again, these traps are super duper sticky. Let me pull one out here. And this is the one where I've taken a couple out of this. And you can see they come kind of back to back. So it's a situation where you can actually pull out, you know, 2 at a time, or you can use this 1 at a time if you want, you know. And one thing I really like about these glue traps is, unlike some other traps I've used, you know, besides being super sticky, it's a situation where they're not as strongly fumed. Like, I swear some glue traps might just be toxic to children, other pets, other animals, that kind of thing. And these are non-toxic. So these will hold those nasty rats, but it will not actually hurt you or your pets. Because maybe you want to have this in an area that is like under the sink in the kitchen or something, where you cook or whatever. You don't want to have weird toxic fumes all the time around the kitchen, or an area where the dog might be, you know, like a laundry room or something, where maybe you have a litter box or other stuff. Now you can see here on the inside, this is quite shiny and very nice. And a lot of people may not know this, but this little bubble here, this little spike, I don't know if I want to say what I'm thinking as far as calling it, this little pivot here, okay? This is actually to put like a little bait in. You can put like a little peanut in there or something, or a little peanut butter or something that rats will like, and cause them to want to walk across here. But it's actually my experience that they'll just walk across here anyway. Put them in high traffic areas where you think there might be a mouse, or if God forbid, if you do have a little mouse hole or something, stick it right in front of the mouse hole, you know, and it will get those buggers. Now, again, these are great for all sorts of things. I would recommend putting these, you know, in the basement, under the sink, all over the place, because if you do have like cockroaches or lizards or other pests you don't want running around, this will actually stick them to it. In fact, here's some pictures. Here's some cockroaches, which I caught with this glue trap. And here's a picture of some lizards I caught outside the house with this glue trap. And again, these can be used anywhere, and they can be used for all sorts of insects too. And one other little pro tip, if you have problems with other animals, sometimes if you get combination like a blue light, like a bug zapper, like a black light, and stick this under the trap, under the zapping, you know, black light zapper, it does like double duty, where it even gets more things. It can be good for getting all sorts of pests. But look at that, really nice surface, really super sticky, and just definitely your arsenal for getting rid of those pesky rats. And again, with 48 of them, with this huge honking box of these traps, you can really like line up a whole basement or something. You can make a unpassable obstacle for those rats, you know, and it can be a really good time. Another trick I like to do with these is these fit very nicely into a 12-pack soda box. So you can just like cut off the end, make like a little tunnel, kind of like a square tunnel, and stick this in there, and the rats will want to crawl through it, and they get stuck in there. So a lot of fun for rats to, you know, well, fun going in, but not fun going out, I guess. It's an interesting way of catching them, because they really kind of like, you know, cats and laser pointers. Rats love to crawl in like little tubes and boxes and things. It is definitely one of their like little things they love to do. And if this is in there, you're going to catch those buggers, because it's even going to be harder for them to get out of it. But again, I can't stress enough that one of the important things I love about these glue traps is the fact that it is super sticky. And once they get on there, they're going to be stuck. So very, very good stuff. Now, a few other little things about rats. You might think, oh, I just seen one rat. If you see, they're kind of like cockroaches. If you see one rat, there's probably more of them running around the place. In fact, one rat, you know, can breed 6 to 20 babies, okay, which is a lot. And females can become as pregnant as early as 5 weeks old. Think about that, a 5-week-old pregnant female rat giving birth to the 6 babies, just to go ahead and repeat the cycle. And then the babies give birth to more babies and more babies and more babies. Before you know, you're going to have rat traps filled. It can get out of control very quickly. So it's important to kind of nip the problem in the bud, you know, get rid of those rats. Now, there is a few types of rats: Norway rats, roof rats, you know, those are some of the more common ones. And you might be surprised, here in Key West often has rats just like crawling around like telephone lines, that kind of thing. One of my first times I seen a rat on the island when I got here, there was something running across a telephone line. I thought, oh wow, Key West has squirrels. It wasn't a squirrel. It was a fat rat. It was a big one too, you know, and so they're everywhere. At nighttime, you know, you think there's no rats around your property. There is. There really is, especially if you live in places like Florida. Even in good neighborhoods, nice areas, you're going to have rats. You know, there's really no escaping it. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to fight the fight and get rid of those rats, you know, or are you just going to like let it multiply with more babies and more babies and more babies until it gets completely out of control and your whole house is like chewed up with rats and smells like rat urine and just not a good time? So take care of those rats, fight that fight. And again, even if you don't have rats, this is going to help you with cockroaches. It's going to help you with lizards. It's going to help you with a lot of stuff. To recap, I'll have a link for this exact set, what I've seen exterminators using. It's an exterminator secret. It's what they have on their truck. You know, I'll have a link for this right below. Okay, it's a one-time purchase on Amazon. If you want, you can subscribe and save, but one-time purchase, and this is going to solve your problem. You're going to have enough glue traps to last a really long time, and the glue traps themselves can last up to a year open like this, so they last quite a while. This adhesive is both very strong, very durable, non-toxic, and it's a thing that's going to keep sticking for a good long time. So even if you don't have a rat problem today, it will help you tomorrow, the next day, the next month, for a good long time. So it's well worth doing, guys. You fight that fight versus the rats, okay? If you guys have any rat questions, please reach out to me, tuxtoys@gmail.com. I'm here to help you guys. I've fought this battle and won before, and this is my secret to winning, okay? This exact set, okay? All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Click the link and get those rats.